All right, and we are headed into a big weekend of football. Week 5 for the NFL as the Cowboys try to right the ship against the winless Jets this weekend. That's, of course, after tying with Green Bay and getting pounded by the Bears. Joining me to talk about it is Locked On Cowboys podcast host Landon McCool. Good morning, Landon. Great to see you.
Good morning.
So, as always, first up, can you give us an injury report for Dallas?
Oh boy, how much time do we got? Because it's lengthy, and it may be quicker to just tell you who is playing at this point. We'll start here with the offensive line. Of the Week 1 starters that are supposed to be on the starting offensive line, only one, Terrence Steele, is not on the injury list. Tyler Booker, Tyler Guyton, and Tyler Smith are all on the injury list with ankle, concussion, and knee, respectively. I think Tyler Smith probably will play. Tyler Booker's still definitely not playing. Looks like he's avoided IR, but he's definitely not ready to play quite yet. It does look like he's out of the boot, but just not going to be ready this week. Tyler Guyton's the one that we really have a question with. He's in the concussion protocol. It's going to be big if he practices today, but if he doesn't practice today, then he is likely out, and you're going to see Nate Thomas take his spot. So you could potentially be with only one of your original 5 starters against the Jets this Sunday.
Okay, so leaning into the brighter side of our roster right now, Dak's playing great, huge numbers, even MVP talk, but the defense as well in the pits, as you know. How long do you think Dak can keep carrying this team in this capacity?
Yeah, the defense is offensive, and it's going to take a lot of Dak playing. And look, he's playing the best football of his career right now. The hope is that the Cowboys defense, which is still very young, kind of improves. They've added some pieces. They've got a couple more pieces that are going to be coming back in the next few weeks off of some injury lists. And the hope is that the combination of some new faces and just ingesting the defense a little bit more, internalizing the defense a little bit more, so they're just playing it a little bit more sound, will hopefully create some improvements. But it definitely needs to improve drastically if the Cowboys want to have any hopes of making the playoffs.
Yeah, and speaking of the defense, do you think time is running out for defensive coordinator Mike Eberflus? Matt Eberflus, excuse me.
Matt, yeah, it's tough because he kind of got put into a difficult position. There's no doubt about it. I mean, trading away Micah Parsons, days before Week 1 is certainly going to change the angles on how you call a defense and the kind of defense you call. I don't think that he's necessarily helped himself with some of the play calls that we've seen. It's been an extremely heavy zone. He's been allergic to playing man coverage when you've got 2 man cover corners on the outside. That's what they're comfortable doing. So I do think that he needs to make some adjustments just to kind of show some good faith in order just to buy him a little bit more time to see if he can correct this ship.
We know the Jets have their new QB this year, Justin Fields, but he's also experienced some injuries. What do we need to know about him ahead of the game?
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup for this Cowboys defense that we just talked about, how they'd like to play a lot of zone defense. They don't like to blitz. And that actually, may line up with what you want to do against Justin Fields. Justin is not necessarily the kind of passer that we've seen these last few weeks. In fact, the most dangerous thing he does when he drops back to pass is probably scramble, but he's a very, very efficient scrambler, one of the best in the league. And I think that's going to be the big problem for the Cowboys, is though Justin Fields struggles against zone coverage, but the Cowboys will play a lot, and they're not going to blitz a lot, which is another thing that he can beat very, very easily with his legs and his arms. But they've got to find a way to bring him down. Like he's very elusive, he's very fast, so they're going to need to put somebody, a linebacker, green dogging him or spying him, just to make sure that they slow him down.
And finally, real quick, what would you say is the one big key to success for the Cowboys to walk away from this game with a win?
I think that they're going to have to run the football. I mean, they've got Pickens obviously out there, but there's no CeeDee Lamb, and they've got Sauce Gardner on the Jets side. He's a very, very good cover corner, so there's an opportunity for him to kind of try to take Pickens out without them having to expend extra resources. That may put the clamps on the Cowboys defense, so they need to find a way to run the football efficiently, attack the edges, these kind of undersized edges of the Jets, and then use play action pass to attack down the field, and hopefully that should be enough to score a whole bunch of points.
Well, as always, Landon, thanks so much for joining us today.